then the Nets, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. New Jersey gave the Cavs a real struggle last night. Here early, Miami gave the Bulls a struggle. You know, you were talking before the break, Dick, about the Bulls and how relatively injury-free they have been, not just this year, but last year as well. In fact, this year they had a few more injuries.
Well, they're an organization that takes pride in avoiding injuries, and for the second year in a row, they're one of the least injured teams in the NBA. In their championship year, they only missed 20 games due to player injury, only 45 this year, and Bill Cartwright missed 28 of those. You know, in comparison, the Washington Bullets now missed 281.
Purdue swats it away. His fourth block. Jordan looking inside. It's Grant. Now Jordan from the outside. Brian Shaw, the Heat rebound. Inside of 2 minutes left in game one. Glenn Rice around the pick by Alan Ogg, and he is fouled. Rice to shoot 2.
In the playoffs, when two teams are playing each other and there's all this dissecting and bisecting because you are playing in a 5-game series or a 7-game series, look for subtle changes. One of the changes that you might expect in game 2 of this series is for Kevin Lockery to maybe play Glenn Rice at the small forward. He told us today when he plays the small forward, he has a tendency to take the ball to the basket a little bit more. Really today, Glenn Rice played a one-dimensional game. That drive that you saw him take, which ended him up on the free throw line, was one of the first ones that he took all night. Yes, he was in early foul trouble, but I think he needs to add that dimension to that beautiful jump shot that he has.
It's a 14-point lead for the Bulls this trip with 1:40 left. That score you saw, Detroit losing to the Knicks 109-75. We're told that that is the lowest offensive output by the Pistons in the playoffs. Michael Jordan has 44.
Well, if there was a name for that dunk, I'd call it the sandwich dunk. He was located directly between two people, soared into the air between them. The baloney came out of the sandwich and dunked the ball.
Rice being picked up by Horace Grant. The 3-try by Rice is short. Jordan throwing ahead to Grant. Horace Grant with 15. Now it's Jordan again coming up with a steal. Paxson to Jordan for the finish. 46. One the man who holds the NBA playoff record for points in a game. Alan Ogg, Jordan the rebound, his 11th. He's got 9 assists.
Okay, this is mop-up time. This is the crowd time. But look at Kevin Lockery. Cool as can be. I've been here 62 times. This is only one game. We played pretty darn well. I'm going to be talking to you guys about it when I get down to that locker room.
No basket for Will Perdue. He will be shooting 2, however. John Sunbold on the foul. Jordan out of the game now. He will not get the triple-double, but he had a Michael Jordan-like night in getting the Bulls pointed in the right direction. And it was the flood of Michael Jordan that proved to be the demise of the Miami Heat on this night.
The flood of points.
Right.
It was a flood of points.
Will Perdue shooting for a new playoff career high with his second free throw. Pippen getting a hand as he heads out with 33.8.
Again, the Miami Heat really played well. They've got to be very proud of how they played, and the Miami Heat is going to be a much more confident team in game 2 on Sunday, and an incredibly more confident team when they get back to the Miami Arena.
Where earlier this year they played the Bulls a 2-point game. 21.1 remaining. Sunbold off the inbounds, hitting the side edge, and Perdue another rebound. The Bulls can freeze it out. Scott Williams for 3. He knew where it was going to end up. He went for his own rebound and lost it out of bounds. So Miami with it. 6.8 left. Heat are going to let it run out. John Morton for three. We've had a foul call, I believe. Or did we? Wait a minute. Had a foul called.
Chicago personal foul 20, Bobby Hansen.
It's on Bobby Hansen. Are they going to shoot the free throws? They are. They're going to beckon John Morton back to the free throw line.
As we see Kevin Lockery proud of his team. And we have Michael Jordan heading over to talk to us.
So the Bulls step out with a game 1 victory. It was a little struggle for Chicago, but thanks to Michael Jordan, as we mentioned, he got them going in the right direction, and they were able to cruise in for the win tonight and move on ahead in this series 1-0. The free throws by Morton now give us the final score of 113 to 94.
Chicago Bulls 113.
Well, the final score was rather lopsided, but it was a much closer game than that, especially so in the first half. And we've asked Bulls guard Michael Jordan to stop by and visit with us here on the post-game show. Michael, I mentioned at the end of the game that you guys got off to a sluggish start, but you got them pointed in the right direction. You sensed that your team needed some offense from you, and you were certainly able to deliver.
Well, I can sense everybody was a little nervous, even though we tried to be as confident as possible coming into the game, because it's a lot of high expectations here in Chicago because of what we did last year and what we've done in the regular season. So I think the shots were a little light, a little tight, long shots, short shots. So, I took my leadership in terms of offense to try to loosen things up.
Is it more difficult to defend a title or to win it the first time?
I think it's really fun because the expectations are there and the challenges are there. So you can't fall asleep. You got to step on the court and be ready to play.
I thought I detected on the countenances of your teammates and maybe even you a little swagger, maybe some preconceived notions about this team that you were playing. It is, after all, their first entrance into the playoffs.
It is, and you try to use that as a motivational factor. Use the first game as some type of a message to send, if possible, that it's not going to be as easy as they may think, and it's going to be a tough series, and hopefully we can keep things going.
Well, I thought that it looked like there was a little overconfidence on the Chicago Bulls' part, and it looked like you sensed it, and you said, let me set an example here, and you had that one dunk. I told him if that dunk had a force meter on it, it would have broken it.
Yeah, I guess that was true. I mean, it's hard to come in and try to take this team lightly. You got to, it's a little swagger involved, especially with our reputation preceding us a little bit, but somehow you got to play through it, and hopefully this first game is out the way. We can kind of settle down to more evenly played game.
Well, there's no question you got the ship righted.
So far.
MJ, all the best.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll be back in Chicago Stadium in a moment.